Well, summer's here again. It's gonna be 80 something degrees today. And Crusty needs a bath. Needs a waxing too. The bed was new and I've been trying to let it rust up, which it's starting to do. And now I want to seal it so that it kind of stays in that way. But the rest of it's getting a little on the dull side, especially like the roof. Get a little dull. So I figure I'm gonna go take the bikes off of it, clean it up a little bit, give it a once over, pressure wash it, and we will go from there. So I decided to turn the camera on and make a video. So do you know if it's a good wax job, if the water still beads on it? It's haven't washed it yet. This is the first time I'm washing it in 4 years since we put this together. Something like that, 4 or 5 years. Looks good. I'm gonna let it dry off and I want to see what the finish looks like. If it's nice and shiny, I'm gonna leave it alone. If I find that it's real dull, I may go over it with the toilet ring wax again. I think it's gonna be okay. Probably blow it off on an air gun maybe. Don't want to leave streaks, you know. Cooking with Musty One. You know what that is? That is what seals your toilet. I only have one right now. See how far that gets us. I'm gonna go melt that down, and we're gonna use like a Scotch Brite of sorts to rub it in to the bed and seal that. It's getting there. See how well this works. I'll probably go with right there. Might be too hot to the touch, I'm not sure. But the main idea is going to be just to get it down on the truck, and then I could work it with a heat gun later on. So let's see. Warm. Warm slash hot. Probably say we'll work with that. Let's get the heat gun out and start putting some heat on it, put it on a rag so you can kind of spread it out further and thin that out. Because the first time I did it, I tried doing the whole truck like that, and I found I took 90% of it off. So we're going to work a little differently and see if we can keep that 90% on. See how heating it does. That's kind of the idea. I wonder if I heat it and maybe thin it with a little bit of kerosene or something, use that so I can kind of spread it out more, than as the kerosene evaporates, it'll leave the wax behind. So I put, I don't know, maybe a quarter of that is kerosene. Let's see if that works any better for us. I like to be able to put it on without having to heat it. Definitely looks like it spreads a lot easier. Still going to have to be heated and kind of waxed so you can see the lines that are in it. But, so I'm going to go continue with that. I'll use up what I got in the pot. Spread that all. This should be able to get the bed done. And we'll see how that looks afterwards. That literally took about 5 minutes in the whole thing. Spread out pretty evenly. Again, it's thicker than what I want. Last time, like on a nice August 95-degree day in the sun, you come back with a rag and just you keep wiping it down when the sun would hit it, it would leave just a very thin film behind. That's what I try to want to get it down to at some point, but I'm going to see what I can work it down to now. And I figure instead of using a heat gun, I'm going to try this. So, is the whole thing going to explode? We're going to find out. And what ends up happening, again, you end up taking a lot of it off, but so be it. It's cheap. Doing something, the lines are going away, so it's getting a little thinner. So that's what we're going to go try for the next however long that takes. I decided I'm trying to rush it too much and just let it do its thing and slow down a little bit. So I want to let it hit a couple of hot days in the sun and let it have capillary action. Is that the word we're looking for? Soaks into all the little pores, and over time it just kind of really seals itself. So as you wipe the stuff off the top, then still deep down inside where this was done, 4 or 5 years ago, it's still all sealed. It's all up inside there, and no rust is growing or nothing. It's just staying just like it is. So let it slow down, slow my roll, and jump on to something else. The only thing I think I was trying to chase it for was I want to put the bike and stuff up on there, and I just don't want it to be like an ice skating ring when I'm trying to use it, but so be it. Be fine. I want to do the roof, and I think I want to do the ends of the gates. They really need it. I might try like a throwaway brush, heat it up and wick it in there with a throwaway brush, or just use the Scotch-Brite again too. Maybe come back with that with heat and let it ooze into the pores. For someone who's watching this video for the first time, I should probably say, this is a truck that was all rotted out. Had a lot of new steel put on it, but I wanted the outside to look like it did in like an old truck. Hence why none of it's, the original paint and writing and everything that's on it. And the back of the bed looked like that. And inside the gates were like that. But wherever you see the new metal was just gone. So that was all bright shiny metal when I was done with it. And of course I wanted it to match the truck. Threw a bunch of, what did I age it with? You guys can help in the comments. I forget already. It was 3 things put together. Hydrogen peroxide, salt, and something else. Vinegar, maybe? let it age to the rustiness that you see it now over a couple of years in the side of the rails. And now I figure I oil the whole truck up and it'll kind of blend together much better, which it, you know, certainly does. Now you look at that, it looks, you know, from 10 feet away, you really don't even see it. It just looks like it's all rusty. It's an even rust, you know. It matched my rust. And this outside was already done already. So in all the pores, again, that stuff is. Probably hit it in a couple of areas. I think this might have been new metal, shiny metal too, so I left it alone so it would rust. I think this was, you know, hit from the grinder. And the rest of it just had primer. Let me get in a better spot. Had like red oxide primer was sprayed on the body, and that came off with Goof Off and Scotch-Brite for the most part. And there's the old paint. You still see it. I left some on, but that was sprayed over all the writing. Brought back. There's a playlist on this truck on my channel, and there's videos of like washing this stuff off for the first time, panel at a time, putting it all together. Guys are in the VWs. Problem is, it's more like those videos are all one segment, and they're kind of like updates on each category as it went along. It's my beginning YouTube days. I got a little hitchhiker. And when it's windy, you're driving, his little legs go. All just meant to look like it's really old. That is from the original owners. We got in contact with each other, and there is a good video on that too. And they mailed me some memorabilia from it. There's that. Now the lights are gonna get you. There's that. And then there's a bag with a letterhead too, like a leather type envelope. I had it turned into a show off video. So it's all stitched back together to keep the outside look best as possible, dents included. It was crushed in pretty bad. I don't even think on the very first video, because I think when I first got it, I pulled this corner out, but this corner was crunched in, I want to say, about that much. That was there. Good 6 inches was nailed in. Just kind of all mushed it back into place. And let it just get dirty. You can't tell. It's all blown out. Jack. Let me block that one. The boo-boo corner. And you can see the gate too. Still how mangled it is. But I like it that way. It's definitely the personality of the truck. It's running a bug muffler with I kicked the exhaust each direction, and I got the pea shooters just welded on further down, and it sounds just like a Beetle. I like the chirp that a bug has sound wise, so I went with that. Plus it was cheap, it was free. Alright, let me move on to something else. I decided, yes I did, that it's way too nice out to be sitting in here waxing. I want to go for a ride, so I figure I'll let the rest of the rails kind of dry out. This is the box that covers the winch in the back, so it looks kind of fitting with the rest of the truck. So bottom's cut out of it, it just sits right over the top of the winch, and when you want to remove it, you just take it off. I'm going to go try fluid film, spray that on it, let it soak in a little bit, and then wipe it off and let that have a nice shiny, oily looking kind of finish too. So let's see how that goes. The rails, when I pressure washed the truck, I want those rails to dry out before I put the oil on it more. So that's another reason why I kind of decided. It gave me an excuse to screw off. Hit it all. Go for it. Looks like it's got some paint or something on it. Might even bring back some of its flexibility. I'm not sure what it's made out of. It's got like a Bakelite-y kind of cloth feel to it. If that makes any sense. Got all of it? Looks like all of it. And just the bottom's cut out of it. It's like plastic with a fiber in it. And that just plops right over the windshield. You don't see it. That's it. You need to get gas. About a third of a tank. It works. And let's give it its pat down. Take care of the hardest area first. Instantly shiny. And it's real rust. Not even fake rust. Not that I have anything against fake rust. I just prefer to have it. Let's do real stuff. My boobs. You think pretty? See something? Stay. Guys, look, you can't even see anything. Almost there. Take great pride in making sure we get there's nothing cranny in it. Good? Good to me. Let's see if we get that sucker. Tuck it back in. That's it. It just sits there. This truck likes between 30 and 50 in fourth gear, just kind of cruising around. hates the highway. 60 is it. Don't do 65, but you could run it at 60. Had a storm come through. A lot of people lost trees. That's why you see all these tree stumps on the side. Everybody's cutting up their stuff. Oh, sure, now they all come. Turn. It's gonna go for fourth gear at 20 miles an hour. Like you're rolling up on a free pile. $50 for a Boland's tractor. You guys want to look at a Boland's tractor? It's got no motor. It's torched out of it. Good if you have one of these tractors though. Got a good rear end. Got hydro. Don't know if it's any good. It's a good type. Reward that.